This show is sponsored by BetterHelp Online Therapy. Visit betterhelp.com/allies because honestly, being a human can be exhausting.
Hello and welcome to the Easy Allies podcast. I'm going to be your moderator today. I'm Daniel Bloodworth. I am joined by Michael Damiani, Michael Huber, and Bradley Ellis. Jones is out, Isla is out, so it's just going to be us. Distinguished guests. I like that distinguished in there.
Nice.
We are here to discuss some of the biggest headlines in video games this week. But before we do that, we must answer for the mistakes we made in last week's podcast. Someone begin corrections music. Anyone. Boop. Thank you. Splitgate did not get crossplay on Xbox and PS4. It was actually released on those consoles for the first time.
Cool.
The Olympic sport with rifles, shooting, and cross-country skiing is called the biathlon.
Nice.
Oh, is that what he meant by it? I thought he was just talking about shooting stuff. He doesn't ski shooting.
And then Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart sold 1.1 million in its first month, which we kind of skipped over with all the PlayStation sales numbers.
Cool, Mel.
Jones.
And corrections music. All right. First one we've got up today is a fun one. Team Asobi updated their website. And in there, they put up 13 job listings. They had some nice photos of Tokyo and some photos of their team. And they also said that they will be working on their most ambitious game yet in their About Us page.
Sounds about right.
Open world Astrobot.
That's
Yeah,
what I'm talking
honestly.
about. Astro's Odyssey. Let's go, baby.
Astro's Odyssey. We're coming for you,
Let's
Nintendo.
go.
Might as well.
Yeah, so they basically, they've listed that the games that they worked on before were Astrobot Rescue Mission and Astro's Playroom. Not going back to the previous stuff from
Right.
Japan Studio and all of that.
Well, now that they have VR in the work, their next VR thing,
Did
it's
see that
a
leak.
perfect
Yeah.
title for it. Like, that's a sell for me.
That is a
I'd
sell.
buy it for that game.
Yeah, that'd be a
Astro
day one.
was so good before.
Yeah, that's a day one.
Well, I'm excited for that. I hope it's not, so I can play it.
Oh, yeah.
For sure, Damiani.
Think
for
about
sure.
it like this. It's going to fill, maybe it'll fill the void left by Knack. Because Knack's dead. Knack's out. Maybe Astrobot could be the new Knack. Fill in, be that 3D platform mascot for them.
Taken away from Cerny.
I saw that report about VR, and they even said that they were focused on games that can use both VR and non-VR, so like Resident Evil 7. So I'm
Yeah.
wondering if this could be a similar thing.
I
where
do wonder if they could do that, yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe,
both.
but weren't people saying
But
like
it's way different. Yeah,
Astrobot was like pretty essential for the
Yes,
VR?
yeah.
I mean, it was
Yeah.
built from the ground up for
Yeah.
VR.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
awesome. Maybe
Yeah.
they could make it work,
Yeah.
but
Or a separate mode.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there's also something I was reading around today. Sony had said something about wanting to make like AAA experiences for the PSVR 2. So I'm curious if that plays into that.
blood and truth.
yeah. Oh,
More
is-
blood and truths.
It is kind of a funny statement though, right? They're like, oh, so you're saying that the PlayStation VR stuff before was not
Yeah.
Because it was so
Yeah.
many gimmicks. I mean, the Batman game is the best example of like, yo, this is an awesome experience, but it's like not really a game,
Right.
Yeah.
you know? So I like that focus. I want more like real games like Resident Evil 7, obviously.
Killzone
And
back.
Killzone and VR, that'd be a
And
great
back.
place for it to come back, Brad. That's
Or
awesome.
Even Resistance would be sweet.
Those would be cool places for those to return, for sure.
I'm trying to think if they have any like IPs, past IPs that would work well in VR besides that.
Like Ape Escape, some kind of VR
Right.
thing or
Oh,
something, you
man.
know?
Yeah, that
But
could
when you
work.
talk about a quote unquote real game, like
Yeah.
Astrobot totally fits that bill.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you are playing in VR. VR is essential for that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
But once you start playing that game, you're not just like, oh, this is so cool that there's my hands in front of me or something.
Yeah.
I guess it's not
just
that kind of game.
that kind.
yeah.
Yeah. It's the perspective that makes it so rad. Oh, I mean, Gran Turismo will probably have it then.
Oh, I'm sure they will.
Yeah.
I'm sure
I-
because
that-
they had it on the last one. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It was a very, kind of isolated like chunk that was VR, but it was there for sure.
Yeah, and just coming off of Astro's Playroom, I mean,
So fun.
I was blown away. That was
Yeah.
just I cannot praise that game enough. I don't usually get platinum trophies, and that one I was just like, I just want to keep playing this game
That's exactly
as
where I
much
was at,
as I
yeah.
freaking can. I want to extract every inch and every collectible in this game. I just want to play it all. It was so much fun. So
Yeah.
I'm just imagining that on like a Mario 64 scale
Scope.
or like a Mario World. Yeah, just
Right.
more and more. But because like each world felt different and cool and it had its own vibe. It didn't feel like things were getting stale as it went on. So I mean, just that, but more.
One of the things about Playroom, though, is that it was really like leaning into the nostalgia vibes, all of the amazing little cameos and stuff that they had, the different robots playing out, as well as the collectibles, like you were saying. So what do you think? Do you think that they lean into that as well? Do you think they go more of the rescue mission, where it's just its own thing?
Yeah, I think it'd be rescue mission.
Yeah.
I mean, they could put in a few little things in their references, which would be fine, but I think it'd be more focused as its own thing. Like, I don't think this game's gonna be in the PS headset like you're in a PS5 for
Right.
Playroom or something
Yeah.
like that. But I mean, a few little references that could be cool, especially because it's first party.
Yeah. What I'm kind of wondering is if they did go into that, because again, that's one of the things I had the most fun with. It's just like coming across something, like recognizing it.
The Resident Evil one, dude.
If they did take it almost like the worlds of these different franchises, and particularly you're talking about stuff like Ape Escape,
Yeah.
things that we haven't seen for a while. Like if Astro went to like a Parappa world or
That's
something.
a good idea, but maybe with IPs they're not going to be really using, but they know fans want.
And I know it's not necessarily VR, but it definitely would make sense because Astrobot was so good with it. And Astro's Playroom really felt like it was showing off the DualSense. So if they were, if these rumors are true about like a PSVR 2, it could very well be the selling game, the showpiece.
Oh,
if
yeah.
you
Yeah.
will.
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I hope it is.
Yeah, they could work in some spiritual successor Gravity Rush stuff in there. Like that could be one of the gimmicks. This is like
Sadly, I don't think we're going to be getting Gravity
Yeah.
Rush for a
Right.
while, so that'd
Yeah.
be cool.
but that mechanic, yeah.
Yeah.
Changing
Oh, that's a
gravity
great
and
idea,
stuff.
Damiani.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a good feeling.
Damiani, did you put a good amount of time into the Playroom?
Oh yeah, I played through to finish. I didn't platinum it, but I don't think they need to lean as heavily on the nostalgia factor. I think they should just go more with something original. Obviously, I didn't play their first effort, but it sounds like what you're saying. It should maybe go more in that direction.
They got the chops. I'm confident in them.
Yeah, I feel like this is a moment where they could build this into something that becomes more of like a franchise for them because it seems like they have the talents for making platformers, whether it's in VR, just like traditionally, and those that PlayStation haptics. Sony likes when
They do,
developers are putting that on show. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a little bit of a showpiece of that. So
Yeah.
I imagine they might try and do more of that type of stuff, like crazier level designs and more of the like haptic functionality worked in.
And budget. Maybe they'll have a bigger budget, too.
Yeah.
What's the GPU song? Oh my God,
Yeah.
legendary.
Yeah.
GPU song.
Oh, that's amazing.
Good.
Yeah, and I think that's the one thing that they really nailed and hammered in on, which, I think that a lot of the times Sony doesn't necessarily always get. It was just like the amount of just the personality in those characters.
Yeah.
And, we've seen a lot more serious games and that sort of thing, but we haven't seen as much family-friendly stuff from Sony lately. So I think it really just hits those vibes in a way that can benefit them a lot.
Yeah. The all the references, I know you're kind of 50-50 on overdoing references. I feel like.
It depends who does it.
Yeah,
too.
and I feel like these ones were just done so well.
It was
They're
like
so fun.
It was a celebration of PlayStation, the whole
Yeah.
thing, so it made sense to me. It wasn't just like some weird thing out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Totally.
And you were also like seeking some of them out.
Yeah.
Like while some were right in your
Yes.
face, others you had to go off and explore.
Yeah.
So that was kind of a nice dangling carrot. Obviously, I didn't play the first Astro, but did they have like multiple different playable characters? Because that's somewhere else they
No,
could
they
go.
didn't.
Oh,
Yeah,
sure.
they
I
could.
was thinking that.
Yeah,
I was
like-
getting too ambitious in my head of like
Yeah.
depending on the character you play as, that the character can set the tone of the game. So if you wanted to do, a little more serious, you could have like that kind of Astrobot character. And then if you wanted to do like the references and all the jokes, you could have kind of more of a clumsy one or something.
It's like the best platformers either have like an ensemble of like, 2, 3, 4 different playable characters, or they got to have some cool power-up abilities.
I was going to say,
it's like one or the other.
I think the power-ups would be a safer bet to me. Follow the Mario formula.
I also
Might
think
as well.
Not the Donkey Kong 64 formula.
I think another thing that would work really well would be like vehicles and
they could do
how
all
they have the giant that they show. You know,
that was
like,
sick.
Blood
you
Gulch,
play as that-
dude. Let's go.
Yeah, that was sick.
walking around as that giant would be fun.
Yeah, it would
Yo,
be.
when's deathmatch coming, dude?
But that's the thing too. Like you could throw in some mini games and stuff. That could work really well.
Oh my gosh, totally. I felt like the very opening beach area was like such a perfect place where you could throw in so many little like ring toss or something. Yeah,
Throw a
totally.
frisbee. Yeah.
Totally. Excellent.
Very nice. Another game, and this isn't really a game announcement, but what is an actual game announcement, which is kind of surprising, and it's the fun one that Brandon put on here. The Zool Redimensioned was announced. Did any of you guys play Zool back in the day? I recognize this logo, this box art, but I've never played this.
I looked it up and I said, oh, it's a little before my time.
Yeah?
Yep. I had never heard of it. Didn't know about it.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I know it's not spelled the same, but when you say the word Zool, only one thing comes to mind, and it's Ghostbusters. Sorry.
Okay, so to catch everybody up, so this is coming out soon. This is August 18th.
Whoa.
That Zool Redimension is coming.
Making a comeback.
The original game was released by Gremlin Graphics in 1992 on the Amiga PCs.
Missed Amiga.
But then it was also ported to Genesis and Super NES and Game Gear and Game Boy and a bunch of other PC formats. Even Master System got a version.
Missed it.
Yeah. And it's a gremlin in a ninja suit. It's a platformer. It's got boss fights. It was really kind of trying to kind of be an answer to like Sonic the Hedgehog at the time. You can kind of see that a lot in some of the way that the visuals look.
Your face about it.
A gremlin in a ninja suit trying to be Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm imagining it rolling really fast. Some chaos emeralds.
Yeah.
Like, what's going on? Yeah, sorry.
And then, so what's really interesting here is how this thing came about. Is it's developed from the Sumo Digital Academy,
Oh.
That's fun.
and so it's been brought back to life by students.
That's so fun. What a perfect game for that. Oh,
Yeah,
I love
so-
this whole thing now.
So these are graduates that are looking to make their first career move. So they have skills in various different industries. The first students joined at September 2020, so this didn't take them that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've rebuilt Zool and designed its engine from scratch with no prior experience in C++ coding. A year ago, they had no experience, and now they're releasing their first game and their own engine running on modern PCs.
Sorry, this was from Sumo what?
Sumo Digital Academy, which I'm guessing is tied to Sumo Digital themselves. Yeah.
It's like I didn't even know they had an academy or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, this is like the
Interesting.
first wave of students putting
cool.
this together.
Seems cool to me.
And it sounds...
Bringing some old game back that like has been off the radar probably for a long time, like has kind of a history and a following, but it's like also letting the kids put their own take on it. It's cool.
apparently had really good ratings back in the day, even though none of us have played it.
Yeah, I played it.
But they did a lot of interesting things here too with this new version. So you can choose between two main game modes. So you can basically play like an original kind of version, or the Redimensioned, which is a little bit more accessible. I'm guessing it has more checkpoints and save files and stuff like that. There are they said they completely redesigned 7 of the boss fights. They've added 25 achievements. They've added like a level select screen and some accessibility options. And then if you want to play the original Genesis version, that's in there too.
Dude, that's cool. I love they include
Very
that.
nice.
Hell
From
yeah.
that. Yep. That's a
excellent.
rarity now.
Yeah, that's
Yes.
excellent. That is excellent.
Damn.
So, and yeah, this is just like 2 weeks away now.
Yeah,
I'm
cool.
curious.
Yeah, I'm
I
curious
knew
too.
you'd be curious, Blood.
I've never played it before.
Yeah.
I've never
Yeah.
really even seen anyone play it.
It's one of my favorite things. I love when history is preserved. You know what I mean? Whether they're putting old movies on digital or physical or bringing old games back this way, I'm super into it. So glad it exists.
Yeah. Letting a company go into the vault basically
Yeah,
and
yeah,
allowing like
honestly.
younger, newer talent to try something like,
yep.
hey,
Right.
we haven't touched
Yes.
this in forever. Hey, this could be a revival for it,
Yep.
like very low stakes. But
Yeah.
yeah, I wish like bigger companies had stuff like
Yeah.
this
Oh,
because how many companies we have like series we want to see a new entry
Yeah.
in and like it goes like years, decade plus, and
Yes.
it's like just hand it over to like
Who did
a
it
smaller
publicly
team.
on Twitter? Some big company on Twitter was like, "Yo, let us make Silent Hill." I forget who it was, but this just happened like a while ago. Where like big companies were saying like, "Yo, let us do
I
it."
wish someone would do this with Castlevania.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, who is it just recently just said they want to, I forget the company name, they want to bring back Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Oh.
Oh.
Yeah. Digital Clip.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Good
yeah,
job.
yeah.
Which I think some of those guys actually worked on the previous
So cool.
releases for like PS3 or
I
something.
feel like
Oh, right,
they did.
yeah.
Yeah. So it's like, there you go.
Another one, I don't know if you guys read the PlayStation blog today with Kamiya with Soul Cresta.
Oh, right. I did see that.
Did
The
you
shoot
read
'em
this
ups?
story?
No, I didn't read, but I
This
saw
is
it.
craziness. So I think there's Terra Cresta and Moon Cresta back in the day.
Mm-hmm.
The most recent one of these games was released in 1985. I've never heard of them. I don't know if they were just in Japanese arcades, if they ever made it over to the West or not. But Kamiya was like shooting around ideas with Inaba,
Mm-hmm.
and they were like talking about maybe making like a shoot 'em up, and like and talking about Soul Cresta, and they're like, well, what if it actually was Soul Cresta, or actually
Cresta.
was a new
Yeah.
Cresta game, And then he was like and this other company, Hamster, which is pretty much unknown outside of Japan,
Yeah.
has the rights, and apparently they had released like a collection of old arcade games recently. And Kamiya knew this guy, like they've hung out and had lunch and stuff before, but like it was like reading his description of being just so nervous that his hands were shaking when he was handing the proposal to the president of Hamster. It was like just hoping that he would approve of it, and that he would.
That's fun.
One of the most celebrated designers in gaming ever.
Good story.
That's awesome, dude.
Yeah, and they're making a
Passion,
sequel,
I can feel it.
trying to use
That's
some of the
sick,
same
dude.
mechanics.
I want to try it now.
Yeah, I know, like that's the
wanna
thing for
see
me.
it,
Is like
yeah.
I've never cared about this game. I haven't played a lot of other
Shmups,
shoot 'em ups and stuff, and yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's fun.
All right. We'll move on to the next big guy. Last night, Nintendo released their Q1 financial report. Damian, did you get a look through this?
I took a glance
Took a
this
glance?
morning.
Took a glance. That's so funny.
Yeah, so we
So
got
it's so just like make it out to cash. So it's so business style, dude. Took a glance at the reports.
So we got an update on Switch sales numbers and on some of the games that just got released. Basically, their overall and their software numbers were down a bit just because Animal Crossing was so
huge last
gigantic
year.
last year at this time.
Yeah.
But they've reached their terminology is interesting. 89 million sell in, which is essentially what they've sold to retailers.
Right.
And then 85 million sold through, which is what they essentially
Actually,
count as, customers have gotten these things on them, which I don't think we usually ever get a distinction between those two. It's like usually the sell in is all you ever hear. But it is sort of what counts for them because, well, they've sold them. It's up to the retailers to deal with it now. But that number one, the standard Switch sales were up, but Switch Lite sales were down.
Yeah.
But that number surpasses now the lifetime numbers of the PS3 and the Xbox 360.
Wow.
PS3 was like 87.
Yeah.
Xbox 360 was 80.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, PS3 kind of like kept going a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Even though Xbox was bigger in the US. It's on the way to beating the Wii and the PS1 by the end of the fiscal year.
Wow.
Yeah, beating the Wii is
Beating the Wii, yeah.
Yeah.
And the
Get out.
PS1. Damn.
It's a monster, and
Yeah.
I think what's even more of a monster is it's the total software sales for its lifetime.
Disgusting attach
I think
rate.
I think was it only the Wii and DS have more software sales of any of their platforms.
Oh, yeah?
They're like at what was it, like 900 million or something, and they're like at 600 million. Like every piece of software ever sold, and it's like they view Switch as only halfway through its lifespan. So it's like. One, it like might be the first of their company to cross 1 billion in software sales, which would be insane. Two, it like this system is like it's sold as much as it hasn't even had a price cut yet. It's like
Yeah.
they haven't even gotten to like Switch OLED or a price cut or anything like that. And it's just on track, I feel like, to maybe beat PS2. Because it's like
Yeah, it's
PS2
possible.
and DS are like neck and neck up there.
Yeah.
But it's like almost double. Like they're saying what 150 million plus each. So
Yeah, it's 151 for the DS and then 155 for the PS2.
it's just like insane that like you're seeing the charts next to each other. Like Switch is like in the middle there. It's like slowly surpassing everyone, but you realize it's only been out for 4 years, and they're probably going to keep supporting it for another few years. So it definitely has that chance. So it's pretty impressive. I know you mentioned like it was a little bit lower because of Animal Crossing and everything like that, but I mean they still got Switch OLED coming out in October. Who knows if they do a bundle or price cut for the OG Switch in November for a holiday? Like they could easily pick up that slack in the second half, and they have a stronger software lineup, it feels like, for the second half. So maybe they haven't. Like, I don't know if they'll beat last year's record, but they're still probably gonna have a really good year.
Yeah. Yeah, I think one of the things especially when you compare it to the Wii, you know, the Wii had that just incredible like skyrocket launch, you know, to where it kind of like right now with the consoles where you couldn't get a hold of one, it took forever. But then by this point, I want to say like 4 years into the Wii's life cycle, people were cooling. A lot of the people that had bought the Wii had like basically packed it up and only brought it out for Wii Sports when somebody came over or something. And so the Switch is in a very different place in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
Same with PS2 and PS3. It's just so different. Like PS2, you know, the remodel going to like the mini and the thin one, and it just being able to play all those PS2 games versus PS3 was like weird backwards compatibility things, you know? So it was like selling alongside it for a really long time.
Yeah. Well, I remember like E3 that we would get, because it was back in the day when these things, the graphs and stuff, were part of the E3 presentations. And you would just they would just keep bringing up the PS2 sales. And it's like, please, we don't care. It's been 3 years.
That mini is so nice.
PSP. Yeah.
The mini was nice.
Love it.
But I think, in terms of the quarter itself, you know, we haven't had like the giant
Nintendo?
The giant Nintendo games right now. You know, they talked about they had 9 games that sold over 1 million.
This Pokemon, right? It's coming out at the
new
end of the year.
Pokemon Snap is the big one. 2.07 million.
Talking about the Diamond Pearl remake.
The new one
what you're
coming
talking
Yeah, so
about.
they've got that
Yeah,
coming.
yeah,
They've got
yeah.
Metroid coming.
Yeah.
You know, obviously.
Payday.
Super
Dollar sign.
the other Mario Party, because I mean,
Yes.
Super Mario Party is a titan for them.
Yep.
And then, so let me run down the others.
Find
So,
a physical copy.
out of the 9 million sellers, 7 of them were Nintendos, and it seems like 2 of the others were third parties, which I didn't see on the report. But yeah, new Pokemon Snap had 2.07 million. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe still coming in second, 1.69 million, bringing it up to 37.8 million copies.
Wow.
What's the highest selling game?
What's
on
the total
Switch?
on Pokemon Snap? That's very interesting.
No, that is the
Is it over 2
Yes.
million?
Yeah,
that's new.
That's
Yeah.
Pokemon Snap. It's new, but
That is.
Mario Kart 8 Deluxe beat Mario Kart Wii. It's now the best-selling
Yeah.
Mario Kart game.
Yep.
Wow.
Sure would like
Yeah,
another
that
one.
Doesn't factor in the Wii U version sales either.
Right.
That Pokemon Snap number just really fascinates me because it's
It's a
just
great
like,
number.
that is a huge number, and it just feels like they do it in their sleep over there at the Pokemon Company. Like,
Pokemon.
honestly, no disrespect to Pokemon Snap, I think it's a great game, But to put up those numbers, that is
I mean,
wild.
despite everything where you sit on the fence with Sword and Shield, I mean, Sword and Shield are like
Yeah.
gargantuan.
Yeah.
Like you think Pokemon Snap sold a lot. Pokemon
Yeah.
Sword and Shield lifetime
Yeah.
to date is just like
too big to fail.
it's like right up there
Behemoth.
in the top 5
Yeah.
of their lifetime sales. It's like insane how these titles keep breaking records
Yeah.
no matter
Yeah.
The backlash, the fan outcry.
yeah, they did.
Right.
Like it's like, what incentive does Nintendo have to do anything differently when this is
Yeah.
what's working? Yeah,
Yep.
Yep. Yeah, the new one, what is it? The remake? It's Omega Ruby.
No,
What is it?
Diamond and Pearl. I
Diamond-
don't know what it's called.
Sorry,
though.
the ones that are coming out
Coming
this
out,
fall. So Brilliant and Shining, Diamond,
Yeah,
Pearl.
yeah.
Forget which was
Got
which.
it.
I mean,
yeah.
that's going to be a couple million.
Oh yeah.
Again.
Oh,
Yeah, I think
like
it's Brilliant
guaranteed.
Diamond,
Well,
Shining
oh, yeah.
Pearl.
Oh,
That
that's
would make
wild.
sense.
Yep.
Yeah, and then you got Arceus
Yeah.
Q1 next
Right.
year.
That'll be huge.
yeah.
Just like
Couple
every
runs
couple
good.
months, you know. You
I
just
think
get
they got
couple
a
million.
good release
Yeah.
on the horizon. The things we know about, we know Splatoon 3 is supposed
Yeah.
to be next year, and that's gonna probably be
Huge.
massive. So like, no, even if they don't have a really good year this year, despite all this, their potential lineup for next year
Oh, they're
is so huge.
They're sitting pretty.
Yeah. But it seems like a lot of their software is just like this long evergreen sales for a lot
Yeah.
of their like
Oh yeah, always.
Breath of the Wild.
Still
Still
huge.
it's like it's Smash Brothers
Finally,
Ultimate.
dude. Timeless
still
classic.
It didn't.
It's
It
like-
didn't make this list though. So some of the other ones: Mario Golf Super Rush, 1.34 million. Animal Crossing still up there, 1.26 million, making that I think the second best overall. 33.9 million total.
Good God.
Yep.
Great timing.
Ring Fit Adventure still up there.
Phenomenal timing
Yeah.
for that game.
1.15 million, bringing it to 11.3 million total.
Just broke into the top 10 for Switch for like all-time sales.
The Ring Fit?
Ring Fit's
Yeah.
number 10
Good
best-selling
Lord.
Switch game of all time.
Damn.
Yeah.
Give me
Ring
Excel,
Fit,
baby.
man.
Does Switch have the most 1 million games sales? Like the most games that have sold over 1 million copies?
I don't
wonder.
know. That's an interesting.
That's-
That's an
yeah,
interesting
don't
chart.
know.
Yeah.
Don't know.
I bet. I would not bet against it.
Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, 1.09 million, bringing it to 6.7 million total.
Wow.
Not bad for
For a Switch port?
Switch
For a
port.
little
with
Wii U
the
port,
With
yeah.
like a couple
Yo,
hour DLC?
Quick 1 minute break. Retrospective. Bowser's Fury. Could you see them doing more of stuff like that?
Oh, yeah. That,
Oh,
Big-
yeah.
Big
I think,
expansions.
I think that's
Yeah.
was a prototype they were
It's
building
cool,
for
yeah.
potentially where they're going in the future. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, like basically have multiple worlds or like that. Yeah, that'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I think the thing they might get to tackle is if you go like it's more like open worldy. What if a player goes in this direction? They start unlocking these worlds instead of this way. Like that might
interesting.
cool like stuff that Breath of the Wild already tackled and stuff.
Yeah.
They might be trying to figure out, but
Dude, that'd be fun.
the possibilities. That's
fun.
what's like so exciting. Like whether or not you like Bowser's Fury, it's like the potential it showed. It's like all right, made in the aesthetic of it or like the themes of the worlds. But you know what? Hey, it was just a DLC.
Yeah.
It wasn't a
For a
full
Wii
mainline
U
game.
game.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, it was a
Yeah,
Wii U.
they need that one needs a Switch Pro.
Yeah.
that
Yeah,
game
yeah.
needed a Switch Pro though. A little rough in some
Sure,
spots.
yeah.
I don't know if you already caught wind of this, Huber, but what do you think that last one is? That seventh game
For 1 million,
for 1 million.
it's gotta be Monster Hunter.
No, because that would be a third party, but that's probably one of the two.
I'm sure
I'm
that's
sure
just
that's one of the
fine,
two.
too.
That's
Yeah.
that because they talked about 9, but only 7 of them were their games.
Yeah.
So I wouldn't be surprised if Monster Hunter was one of them.
Probably some old Wii U game, maybe Skyward Sword or
Wahoo.
what is that?
Wahoo.
Oh, Mario 3D World?
No, we just talked about that.
Yeah. What's the other one?
The last one,
Odyssey.
Metopia.
Metopia!
1.04 million.
That game existed.
Metopia. How many copies?
1.04 million.
1.04 million for Metopia.
Metopia is selling over 1 million.
Yeah.
Dude, yeah.
Wow.
Million seller club.
A
Million
3DS
Metopia.
game that nobody seemed to care about, but apparently.
Wow.
Just selling. Million. Cool million.
Yeah,
no
cool,
problem.
No, they do it in their sleep. They do it in their sleep.
it's time for like just port a Excite truck. 2 million right there. Boom.
Excite truck.
Excite truck, 2 million. Let's go.
Yeah, why not?
Beetle Venture Racing.
Beetle
on
Venture
there.
Racing.
Let's go.
Yeah. 1.5 million.
Excite Truck?
Mm-hmm.
Dude,
It was a Wii game.
I only played Excite
It was a
Bike.
Wii launch game.
yeah.
You played it. You probably played it.
Yeah, dude, I loved Excite Bike. Love that one growing up on Game Boy. That's Excite Bike, right?
Was there a Game Boy?
There was a
Excite
Game Boy
Bike?
version. Yeah,
I don't
yeah.
know.
I
Most
bet there
people
was.
played on-
Motocross, the
Most people
motocross?
played on NES, but maybe there
Yeah,
was.
I don't remember a Game Boy Excite Bike, but maybe it existed.
There was on N64.
Yeah.
And Excite Bike 64 was.
You know, there's
Yeah,
Excite Truck, dude.
Yeah, it was on
What?
Wii. It's a Wii launch game,
it's like
dude.
a
You probably played
racing, like a normal looking racing game.
Damn.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that swear by
It's
that
like a
game.
cruising
I wasn't
world
that
song.
into it,
Mike and
but
Mike,
yeah.
let's go, dude.
Oh,
Come
Lots of
on.
big jumps.
it. Yeah. So you got to
Sick.
do an Excite.
And then there was
Anything.
Excite Bots.
Yeah, that was the last one.
Oh, I didn't play that one.
I
Excite Box.
didn't
Dang.
either.
Wait, no,
Sounds
you know,
nice.
hear about what we're playing? Because there's another title, and then one that probably should come to Switch because it'll probably sell 1 million copies. Get Monolith Soft's Disaster Day of Crisis.
Oh my god, that's
Oh,
a ridiculous
Dude,
game.
you, that game is for you.
You're just like rescuing people,
it's,
right?
it's a game where every natural disaster imagining is happening during a terrorist attack. Like you're just like this like cop dude who's like in the
What?
middle of all the earthquakes, tsunamis, like yeah, it's just like going on.
Single player?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just want to watch your
Yeah.
reactions,
Yeah, it
like
sounds fun.
seeing it.
That sounds
One
insane.
thing I never got to play that I would like to go back to with a remaster would be The Last Story.
Yeah, dude. I
Oh,
really wish they'd
yeah.
do that, but
Mistwalker,
yeah, it doesn't seem like they're doing any of that stuff with their games.
right?
A couple
Because they have
months.
so many games that just
Yeah.
were stuck on one system kind of thing.
Never touched Lost
Blue
Odyssey. No, I
Dragon,
guess
Lost Odyssey.
those
Yeah.
are BC on
You could play
Xbox,
them
right?
BC,
Yeah.
yeah, but it's like, man, give them another second life or something.
But yeah, so I mean, last week we talked about the Xbox and the PlayStation sales, and this week we got Switch, and it's just
Crushing it. Everyone.
everybody is crushing
the-
it.
Yeah, it just doesn't surprise me.
Earning reports time.
Until it's like the bubble breaks, I'm just never surprised. Every game that comes out is going to be the highest selling in the franchise. That's honestly what it feels like, barring the weird moments of like Ratchet and Clank is only on PS5, low install base right now, but for the most part, I just think every game coming out is just kind of like doing well.
Games
The
are bigger
business
than
is
ever.
a booming.
yeah.
It will be interesting to see like Advance Wars, the one I'm very
Yeah.
curious about.
Oh, yeah.
Because that I feel is an important litmus test for some like a barrier that Nintendo might cross into to bringing some more games to Switch.
And they said that about Fatal Frame too.
And
They're
f-
looking
you're
at how
right.
Fatal Frame does to see
Test
whether they're
waters.
going to do a sequel.
I feel like if those two can like perform better than expectations, I think we might see some older
Sequels.
Yeah, some sequels to those, but also some other games that people have been wanting for a while might have a better chance.
Golden Sun.
Yeah, Golden Sun. You want to like if Golden Sun sells 1 million on Switch? Come on, like it's
They
possible.
need to say that. They need to like threaten the players. If you don't buy this,
Doug Bowser's like, yo, you're in trouble.
Buy it. Buy Golden Sun, buy
you're gonna
Onimusha.
guilt trip us.
Yeah.
Well, there's no plans for any kind of Golden Sun re-release. Just to be
Yeah.
clear.
Yeah.
I don't know
yet.
with Camelot now.
But
yeah.
I
Now they're
do
playing
feel
golf.
like Fatal Frame is getting. That's a hard situation.
It's getting a lot of
'Cause
buzz,
that's
and I
not
feel
a-
like
that's not a good game, right? Like
it was a swimming for me.
Yeah.
It's too long. It becomes it's just too long. But the way they're
Fiverr.
marketing it, I know because I just happened to review that game. But the way they're marketing it is almost like it is a new release. I think a lot of people, if you're not tapped into the industry, if you're just a consumer of Switch horror games or whatever, you might have a new Fatal Frame. Like, oh,
yeah.
yeah, just the way everything about it, it just doesn't seem like they're hyping it up as a remaster.
Did the Famicom Detective Club make it, or was it before or after the cutoff for this?
I think it would have been in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
but
ones that
I didn't see any reference.
I
to
didn't
it.
expect those to sell very like 1 million copies, but I'd be very curious if at any point Nintendo says they were pleased or displeased, like they underperformed or
Right.
or performed to expectations.
But I wonder too, did that game release earlier in Japan, or did they simultaneously release that? Because that could make a difference too in a quarterly report.
I felt like they came out the same.
But I don't know.
When how often is Nintendo doing staggered releases anymore with their first party stuff? I feel like they don't do that anymore. I'm trying to even remember the last time they've done something like that.
I feel like that might be one, but I don't know for sure.
No, they either release something that doesn't come out here, period, anymore, which is
Right.
like pretty still common. But yeah,
Do you have the lifetime for Breath of the Wild sales?
No, I didn't see that on this report.
It's-
A lot of that, maybe that's in the yearly reports.
there's a link there. They have a software page that's always updated with every annual
okay, got
quarter
it.
thing.
Okay.
I think it's like at just under 24 million.
God, it feels so good.
It's
for
right
Zelda,
behind
so
Super
good.
Smash Bros. Ultimate. It's like number one's Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Number 2 is Animal Crossing. I think 3 is Pokemon now. 4 Smash Brothers, and 5 is Breath of the Wild.
Man, after Skyward Sword sales on Wii, this is like very nice to see it sell so much.
Wait, Breath of the Wild's more than Mario Odyssey?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Odyssey's like 2 more down the rung now.
3D Mario has never been a huge seller
And
compared
Odyssey,
to some other things.
Yeah, and Odyssey, I feel like, Breath of the Wild is just like always in the conversation. You know, people still analyze it, talk about it to this day. Obviously, the sequel's coming out, so that helps. But it just always, still after all this time, it just always feels relevant.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Well, plus the stuff that people still manage to figure out and
Figure
pull
out,
off with the
Yeah.
physics system and
Yeah.
everything. Yeah.
God, I hope
Open
Metroid
world-
sells a lot
Open
now.
world games, man.
I need Metroid to sell a lot now. It's never sold a ton or as much as it should have. So hopefully
Right.
now on Switch it will.
Get ready for the highest selling Metroid of all time, Brad.
Today, 35th anniversary of the Japanese disc system release
Really?
of the original
Wow.
Metroid.
Sick. Happy birthday,
It's got a
Samus.
chance now
Where's
though.
that collection?
Dread looks solid, and Prime 4 probably be sick from Retro. So hope it sells well.
And now, a word from our sponsors.
We all shop online, and we've all seen that promo code field taunt us at checkout. But thanks to Honey, manually searching for coupon codes is a thing of the past. Honey is the free shopping tool that scours the internet for promo codes and applies the best one it finds to your cart. Honey supports over 30,000 stores online. They range from sites that have tech and gaming products to popular fashion brands and even food delivery. I will always be in debt to Honey because Honey helped me save a lot of money on a gift certificate that I got for my birthday. And that is some dollars that you definitely want to stretch as far as they will go. Honey makes me happy because it not only helps me save money on stuff I buy online, including Easy Allies equipment, but it'll also let me know when prices change. Here's how it works. Imagine you're shopping on one of your favorite sites. When you check out, the Honey button drops down, and all you have to do is click Apply Coupons. Wait a few seconds as Honey searches for coupons it can find for that site. If Honey finds a working coupon, you'll watch the prices drop. Honey has found its over 17 million members over $2 billion in savings. If you don't already have Honey, you could be straight up missing out on free savings. It's literally free and installs in a few seconds, and by getting it, you'll be doing yourself a solid and supporting this podcast. I would never recommend something that I don't use. Get Honey for free at joinhoney.com/allies. That's joinhoney.com/allies. With HelloFresh, you get fresh, pre-measured ingredients and mouth-watering seasonal recipes delivered right to your door. Skip trips to the grocery store and count on HelloFresh to make home cooking easy, fun, and affordable, and that's why it's America's #1 meal kit. HelloFresh cuts out stressful meal planning and grocery store trips with less prep, less effort, and minimal cleanup, so you can enjoy cooking and get dinner on the table in just about 30 minutes. HelloFresh's calorie-smart options make it easier to enjoy tasty, lower-calorie meals this summer without scouring the grocery store. Choose from 50 menu and market items each week, from vegetarian meals to craft burgers and extra special gourmet options, all available. There's something for everyone to enjoy, with all recipes designed and tested by professional chefs and nutritional experts to ensure deliciousness and simplicity. I have a 2-year-old son, and while I love him very much, he makes meal planning very tricky. After we spend all day figuring out what he is going to eat, it's very easy for us to eat bad things or quick things, or things that we don't really think about until it is time to prepare a meal. HelloFresh makes that decision extremely easy and makes the process extremely fast. Go to HelloFresh.com/allies14 and use code allies14 for up to 14 free meals, plus free shipping. That's HelloFresh.com/allies14 and use code allies14 for up to 14 free meals, plus free shipping. HelloFresh, America's #1 meal kit. This summer, get the most out of your travels abroad by learning the language of your destination with Babbel, the #1 selling language learning app. From ordering in restaurants or asking for directions to gaining a deeper understanding of the culture, Babbel makes the whole process of learning a new language addictively fun and easy. With bite-sized lessons you can actually use in the real world, Babbel is a can't-miss travel essential. I've always lived in Southern California, and so I've always been surrounded by Spanish-speaking people, It'll be wonderful to finally get a command of that language to understand things that are being said or possibly be able to communicate with locals the next time I head down to Mexico for vacation. Babbel's 15-minute lessons make it the perfect way to learn a new language on the go. The infamous language classes I took in high school, my Spanish 3 teacher was very nice. He was just a little bit crazy. Babbel designs their courses with practical, real-world conversations in mind, things you'll get to use in everyday life. Other language learning apps use AI for their lesson plans, but Babbel lessons were created by over 100 language experts. Their teaching method has been scientifically proven to be effective. With Babbel, you can choose from 14 different languages, including Spanish, French, Italian, and German. Plus, Babbel's speech recognition technology helps you to improve your pronunciation and accent. There are so many ways to learn with Babbel. In addition to lessons, you can access podcasts, games, videos, stories, and even live classes. Right now, when you purchase a 3-month Babbel subscription, you get an additional 3 months for free. That's 6 months for the price of 3. Just go to Babbel.com and use promo code ALLIES. That's BABBEL.com, code ALLIES, for an extra 3 months free. And if you are a patron of Easy Allies, thank you.
All right, this next one I don't want to put a lot of time on because we've talked about it a lot the past few weeks. But I've got like the rundown just to keep everybody up to date on the Activision Blizzard situation.
Oh boy.
Hit us.
So I just wanted to throw this stuff in there, let people kind of get an idea what's been going on. Maybe I'll run through it all real quick, and then we can comment on what people want to comment on. J. Allen Brack is stepping down as CEO of Blizzard.
Excellent.
The studio will be co-led by Jen O'Neill, who joined Blizzard in January from Vicarious Visions, as well as Mike Ibarra, who was from Xbox before, and he joined in 2019. The head of HR, Jesse Meshuk, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly, but they're also not at the company anymore. Employees have loosely formed the ABK Workers Alliance, and they've been writing letters. They've spoken out against the choice of the law firm Wilmer Hale, as well as continue to reiterate that their specific demands haven't been meaningfully addressed yet. Second lawsuit has been filed by investors claiming that Activision was not transparent, that they were being investigated, haven't been forthcoming with the situation that's been going on for the past couple of years that sparked the first lawsuit. And during a recent investor call, Bobby Kotick claimed he wanted to make Activision Blizzard the very best example for other companies to emulate, and stated that people will be held accountable. That commitment means we will not just terminate employees where appropriate, but will also terminate any manager or leader found to have impeded the integrity of our processes for evaluating claims and imposing appropriate consequences. The company is also hiring additional staff to specifically address these issues. So, some things moving forward, but not any kind of smoking gun. This is fixed, obviously. I mean, which we're not going to get.
Pretty much forced to step down, I assume. They said he was going to pursue other career opportunities or whatever.
It was like
you were sacrificial lamb. You're out of here, kind of thing. These two code leaders are interesting to me. The woman, what was her name again? I forgot.
Jen O'Neill.
She worked at Vicarious Visions. I think she started as QA or something, and she worked her way up. Yeah. And the other guy you say is at Xbox. So a weird thing, I keep tabs on like the World of Warcraft community especially, and of course that ties with Blizzard. There's been a lot of fans are unhappy with the game for a long time now, and they feel like the devs are kind of out of touch. But this new guy coming in is an active WoW player, playing at a pretty high level, doing these things called like Mythic Dungeons. So that's kind of brought a little life into, or making the fans feel a little more comfortable. Like someone in charge of this actually plays the game.
Yeah.
Right.
Like they feel like a lot of the devs don't actually play the game because they feel so disconnected, and like some of the decisions they're making seem so weird. So it's been kind of nice signs to see these, but it is very early, so it's hard to tell. But it seems like a better step in the right direction.
Yeah, it's like Ubisoft kind of all over again, just kind of going through this. It's people get, let go, and the higher ups, chant change, and then on the outside looking in, it's like we just kind of have to, what do we perceive? Has the company changed? Do we know? So the fact that the employees are banding together for like protection, that's what I noticed the most, and that to me, is the best course of action, because then like if they're all just defending each other like they should, like then hopefully it'll be better there.
Yeah. A little disconcerting about Bobby Kotick's statements, though.
Yeah.
It's
Just so
clear
boilerplate.
he's playing for the I'm not going anywhere, and
Yeah.
I'll fix this, and then we'll be a shining beacon and stuff.
Yeah.
Watch this. It's like this still all happened under your watch, but
Yeah, I think it to me it feels like a lack of humility
yeah,
is the main thing that it comes down to, which I think
no remorse.
when you compare that to J. Allen Brack stepping down, and even the things that Brack had said before, right?
Right.
And I'm kind of split on that because, like, on the one hand, it's like, yeah, like this was on his watch. This is an appropriate action for him to take to, like, all right, I'm responsible for this. I need to get out of the situation. I shouldn't, this shouldn't have happened while I was in charge. But the other side of that I saw somebody point out this is kind of what Bobby wants.
Oh, they want to creep in on Blizzard
for years. It's like they've been trying to
creep in on Blizzard.
Blizzard was sort of its own thing for a while after the merger.
Yeah, Activision's got more control
and now Activision is getting more and more
yeah.
control. So it's kind of a way for him to push out more of that old Blizzard.
It's
guard.
like scary, kind of, but
It's
old
so
Blizzard's already
strange,
gone.
man.
It's not Blizzard anymore,
Yeah.
like the we loved growing up with.
I'm just like, what lengths they will go to like, get back to like the normal view of Activision Blizzard. I mean, I hate crazy things, but it's like I just saw Diablo 2 was Resurrected was delayed, right?
No,
No.
Immortal is delayed.
Or what?
Immortals, that's the mobile game.
mobile game.
Okay,
Yeah.
never mind.
No.
I was gonna say if that was delayed, I
No,
was like,
Vicarious Visions is handling Resurrected.
I was like
so
that would be
it's on track.
that was more of a strategic thing. I'm sorry, I got that wrong. My apologies for that. But the thing that wasn't in here, I thought I saw today as well, is the advertisers are pulling out of Overwatch League.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
saw
no,
that.
I didn't go over everything. There's
Oh,
other
okay.
there's
Oh, yeah,
stuff
there's a lot.
happening.
Sorry.
Constantly.
That one
There's
was
stuff happening
like-
after this podcast for sure.
That's like a good step,
Yeah.
but it's like again, it's hitting Blizzard, not Activision. And like Bobby is like it's Activision Blizzard, but like as long as Activision is like insulated from this, like Blizzard, the worst comes to the worst, like Blizzard's expendable to them. I feel like they're like,
Oh well, the profits they bring is so much less compared to what
it's like we got.
Activision
It's
makes.
like Call of Duty. It's like until Call of Duty is affected, it's like they
Yeah.
don't care.
And in that light, they without skipping a beat, we're talking up the new season of Warzone and all that
Of
stuff
course,
today.
yeah. I mean,
Yep,
the game's
yep.
massive.
Yep.
Yeah, Vicarious Visions becoming part of Blizzard's interesting to me. It's like because that was Activision handling that, but
Right.
they did a great job with Tony Hawk and stuff. So and Diablo looks pretty good so far. So hopefully they'll make a bit like Blizzard really cannot drop the ball on Diablo 4. They cannot
Okay.
drop the ball in that game. If they fuck that game up, it's like over. They ruined Warcraft 3, which was like such an important game in their library. And Overwatch is like in a weird spot right now. It's like no one even cares about Overwatch 2 right now.
No,
It's
I uninstalled Battle.net for my computer. Yeah, I've uninstalled everything, like purged my whole life from Blizzard. I want nothing to do with this company until we know that there's actual change. Like it is mind blowing. It is crazy to me. Like again,
But I mean,
and it's like,
at
do
the
we?
same time though, that's what kind of with me. It's like I don't think you can know that. Like
Yeah, and how do we know?
You don't know.
That's the thing. Is
You
like,
only know when it happens again.
exactly. So it's
it's
like that's why the hopeful side of what you were saying of just the employees banding together.
Yeah.
And like they're the ones I want to hear how it's going from, is everything okay over there? Like how is work morale? How is everyone doing? Is everyone safe? Is everyone good?
Well, and more than anything, the ability to be able to speak up, to speak out.
Yeah.
Because whether things are good or bad, like being able to know that that's what's happening
Yes.
is really important.
Yeah.
So.
I didn't even think about how Activision is connected to all this. They are kind of
Right. But
because it is
a
all
lot
Blizzard,
of these
Blizzard,
employees,
Blizzard,
though,
Blizzard. Yeah, I didn't even.
There's people in here represented from all kinds of different studios.
Yeah.
Like
The
guys
thing
from
is-
High Moon and all of that. Like they're
Yeah.
signed on to this. So I don't know how wide of a reach the problems have been, or whether the problems are really more isolated to Blizzard's side of things or if they've been in other studios too. But those guys from other places are standing in solidarity either way.
Yeah. I think right now it's just like the most horrifying stuff has come out has been on the Blizzard side, but it's, who knows what else will be turned over there. I think, there's still probably more to be heard, but I don't know. I feel like there's always people like talking. I know we've covered this in the past before about whether or not what do you do about this situation when you're covering it, and it's like sometimes you feel like powerless because like no matter what you do, like I'm gonna boycott it. Yeah. Cool, one person boycott it.
Yeah,
100,000 people boycotting it. Does that really even do anything to their bottom line when Call of Duty is like tens of millions or whatever? It's like it's a blip on them. But sometimes something like this can get so hyper focused under like the microscope from the public eye. Yeah, it's like a lightning rod where it's like. We can't change every single company every time this happens. We we call it out and stuff, but like not all the time to change. But maybe this is the time if you can change this one thing, it's like one time, it's like worth it and stuff. So like I'm not like I will like I would however you want to go about raising awareness or like boycotts, whatever you want to do. As long as it keeps bringing attention to it, I feel like this might be the time to do something about it. Yeah. But also, the realist in me is like, man, like this is why Bobby Kotick's talking right now.
Exactly,
it's like he's not. That's not someone who's scared or shit. Like that guy is just like I'm untouchable. Get out of here. It's like, oh man.
But I do think though that what you're talking about with the advertisers and with the investors, like those are things that they're going to really listen to.
Yes. That's something they definitely will pay attention to. But again, until they start pulling out of like the Call of Duty stuff, it's like those are still sitting pretty right now, as far as we know. So until there's like trouble, in those bigger franchises. I mean, Blizzard's huge, but like I feel like once they start pulling out of their biggest things, because it is like a level of difference between what Blizzard's doing right now, especially current, as you said, current Blizzard is not old Blizzard. If this was like 10 years ago or something in the heyday and like people pulling out of like WoW stuff, it's like, okay, this is a huge deal. But like now everyone's like, it's old anyway. WoW is not like, like a lot of it can be explained away and stuff, and it's not the behemoth it used to be.
Right.
And that was like probably its biggest moneymaker along with like Overwatch.
Still
They're
is,
like, and they just point to Call of Duty, and it's like Call of Duty probably covers the cost of like all that stuff. It's like get out of here. Like,
and they have King, was like Candy Crush, and they make
that too.
Ton of money.
It's like,
right.
I don't know.
It's like a weird situation, but there's like some bright spots like Jay Allen Brack leaving, and the two new people could be great, and the head HR guy being gone. So hopefully some positive change will come from this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But it's going to take a while.
Yeah.
Like, I doubt it'll be overnight.
Kind of my point.
It's just going to take a while. You might not hear about everything right away. So.
And it's got to take, the workers on the inside to keep pushing and to keep having each other's backs.
Because we don't work there. We don't know what it's like in there. But yeah.
And then similar story that I think ties into this is the Gone Home creator Steve Gaynor has stepped down from his leadership position at Fullbright after a dozen former staff members claim they've left the company due to toxic work environment.
Holy shit.
He will remain as a writer on Open Roads, but will not be involved in the day-to-day operations. And then Polygon has a report that kind of go over people's experiences and stuff.
Wow.
So this is an interesting kind of... it's a different situation because people are saying this like it's not about necessarily like sexual harassment or overtly like sexual discrimination, but a lot of these people that have left are women. It is a company that was very attractive to women developers, and it felt like a lot of the negativity and stuff was kind of
because they're women or something?
It seemed to be like more dismissiveness and it's almost like kind of like it sounds kind of like a diva complex kind of thing. It's like he associated him like he is Fulbright,
rockstar developer,
that kind of thing, and so like not really listening to other people's feedback and that kind of thing. Yeah.
Well, yet again, I love the people coming together. 12 people coming together and saying enough is enough. Like that's how you get the people in power out.
Well, these people have left the company.
That's like different. I mean,
and
also like the hardship of you can't just switch jobs on a whim. You know, it's like some people are stuck in these situations. They can't do anything about it because it's giving up their livelihood, especially in the past year. As we've been in the pandemic, it's, you know, that's such a high risk that some people will just have to put up with that type of stuff. And it's like, you won't even like hear them out. It's like, yeah, there are people who are going to be like oblivious to some things. Like, it's just how it's going to be. You might not realize you are doing something, but like when you're told about it and like you're dismissive and it's like, or you're just not receptive to like feedback coming from multiple sources.
Defensive.
Yeah, it's like just on that base level, it's kind of, and you're the one in charge. It's like, yeah, you should start looking to get the hell out of here, which stinks because, as you said, some of these companies are, what was it? These people talking about these are their dream jobs, and like they can't be their dream jobs because the work environment makes it hell for them. And like, if that was your dream job, you know, how deflated morally are you going to be that I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these people just leave the industry outright.
Sure, yeah.
It's like, it's not just bad for the company, but it's like bad for the industry because it's dissuading people from wanting to be a part of it.
Well, and that's actually kind of a crazy thing about this Polygon report, because I think there's a part in there where somebody had said that even the hiring managers were reluctant to bring in people because they didn't want to bring them into this environment and then drive them out of the industry entirely. So yeah, so it essentially sounds like it sounds like Annapurna, who you know is helping to publish this game, kind of helped come in and clean up the situation. And
oh, really?
And they're just they're trying to get things back on track. So I know some people aren't happy with the guy being there at all. I don't know what kind of ownership he has in the company. I mean, it's a small team
situation.
You know, but I think kind of the reason to bring it up and the reason to talk about it is I think there's you know part of the conversation that a lot of people have had with Activision Blizzard and Ubisoft and stuff over the past few weeks is like, well, you know, we'll just go join a smaller team. Like, well, this is a smaller team.
Yeah, it's happening even in the small indie ones and the biggest ones. It's all over the place.
Yeah, and
it's so
but in a
demoralizing.
smaller team, you actually have less accountability because they're too small to have an HR infrastructure. They're too small to have somebody to turn to. And so, you know, this kind of stuff can kind of run rampant.
Yeah, I feel like even if like you go the route, if you start your own thing, eventually you still have to interact with these other companies, and whether they're your publisher or you know you need another studio to come in to help you know with part of the development. You're interacting. Like I feel like it's just a high percentage chance of like no matter what advice people say, like oh like you can just go do this, even if you have that option. I still feel like it's the high percentage that you're going to encounter someone who's going to, you know, be involved in one of these activities that just like
take advantage of their power,
whatever it is, like abuse of power, toxic environment, you know, sexual harassment, or you know, just like any kind of negative work environment that's like, you know what, I want to get this to some other place potentially. I'm out of here. So it's like, again, that's why I would say like it's just not good for the industry when that's so like prevalent and it's like you always hear about it like happening and stuff, but like it's still so widespread and it's
so
just like
widespread. It's systemic. It's out of control, and hopefully because I just try to think positively because it does seem hopeless sometimes, but hopefully because now with social media and with communication, more people are speaking up, like trying to take it down. You know, trying to get things changed. So all you can do is just hope. And like Brad said earlier too, you know, some things take a lot of time. Some things take not as much time.
Well, and I think in a situation like this, it's, you know, it's tricky to think about, you know, because this is a whole different situation, right? Like it's easy to conflate the two and to think one just like the other. But but this to me feels sort of like, okay, here's somebody who is a creator and, you know, they started off with just their own little thing with a couple other people. And now, you know, okay, that was successful, and so we'll build a team around it. But, you know, they haven't gained the skills to be able to manage the team, to be able to take in other people's feedback and stuff. And so they're still thinking in like their own wavelength. It's like it's all my thing, it's all my vision, and you know, and so it's a whole different it's a whole different structure that needs to
Totally.
take place. And so I think that's kind of the growing pains of a company like this, of figuring out, okay, how do we go from being a smaller team to being a larger team? Again, if you don't have an HR, you don't even have an HR structure, you don't have an HR person, it's like, where do people go to air these grievances if the person that they're about isn't listening?
Yeah.
Gotta be a leader like Captain Picard in Star Trek. You're the one making decisions. We get everyone together and stuff. You hear all them out and stuff. But like, you do it, with respect and responsibility. You don't do it like talking down to people and
Dismissive
stuff.
and defensive.
Sorry to use such a cliche there, but it's like that's always like I saw. I was like, man, that's like how bosses should be and stuff like that. And then like you go in the real world, it's like that's not how bosses are.
Because it's just defending the institution at all costs.
Yeah,
that's
like,
all. Any big company,
Yeah.
it's capitalism, and it's a whole nother. It's not political science class, but it's like just they defend the institution at all costs, and will cut corners and sacrifice so many things if it just defends the place.
People in power want to stay in power.
Exactly.
That's the way
Yeah.
it usually is.
Yeah.
Also this week, Panic sold 20,000 plus Playdate handhelds in under 20 minutes of their entire planned allocation for 2021.
Wow.
Nice.
So they will be ramping up for next year's.
Go Million Seller
Congrats.
Club. Let's go.
Million
Playdate.
sellers.
Data miners have found code in Animal Crossing New Horizons that suggests a cafe could still be on the way. It's like a string of code that like has
A
NPC and
They don't have a
museum
cafe?
entrance and cafe all like just on a line.
No cafe. Interesting.
Nintendo and data mine codes that never come to fruition.
Yeah, that's
Careful,
very
be
true.
care- Be careful.
It's very true.
Careful.
You've been warned.
Still
by
waiting for those
Damiani.
data mined N64 games on Switch. Still waiting for those.
Yeah, where's that N64 Mini?
Yeah, that controller pad. Where'd it
Yeah.
go? And yeah.
Cammy and Guile are coming to Fortnite.
Yep, they look weird.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Ryu looks 10 out of 10. That's a while
Guile.
ago.
Like Guile,
Well,
man.
Guile looks like the cheesehead
Yeah.
mascot.
Guile
The
looks
best
weird.
way was, as social media put it, was like it looks like someone cosplaying as Guile.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guile.
Can't
the
win them all.
best.
Can't win them all.
Not the
Fortnite.
best.
No.
Wreckfest is getting a crossover event with Carmageddon.
Shut up.
Oh yeah, you can run around mowing over zombies. You get the red.
It's zombies, not people. That's the.
Yeah.
Okay,
I think they even
still-
call it like the censored
still.
version or something. Green blood.
Yeah. Yo, Carmageddon, one of my childhood controversy games for sure. That one was not allowed in my house.
Wasn't
There
that
were a
like
few.
Twisted Metal? Was that the game I'm thinking of?
You run and you hit people like during.
Oh,
Oh.
okay.
Yeah. It had the dude on the cover that's like, yeah.
I don't remember.
Yo, are we playing that, Blood?
You guys can, while I'm out or something. Yeah, I don't
He's
remember when the
Blood, you're in, dude.
event
It's
happens.
Wreckfest. You're in. We'll get Dawn.
Yeah,
Dawn's into Wreckfest. Yo, Wreckfest is like the best kept secret game in the business.
they keep adding to it stuff
That
like
game-
this too. Yeah.
That game is so good. So I definitely want to play that. Holy crap.
The Indie Houses Direct premieres on August 31st on Steam, Twitch, and YouTube. So there's another group of indie publishers. I remember Raw Fury's in there. I think 7 different publishers getting together, doing a kind of collaborative thing. And so they're going to go do a direct with some reveals and stuff along with that.
Nice.
New World, after the successful beta, has been delayed to September 28th to work
Yep.
on all that feedback.
Yep.
Smart.
Yep.
Similarly, Lemniscate was also delayed to September 28th. But our bet is still good for this week.
Oh.
If you guys remember the bet. There's rumors that Horizon Forbidden West will be delayed to
Right.
Q1
Yeah,
2022.
yeah.
Have
Would
not
not
been
doubt
confirmed
Lives
yet.
and dies by
Yeah.
that Breath of the Wild sequel.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it.
They're like, that's not coming out anytime. We don't need to rush this.
Yeah.
We got a nice Q1 wide open.
Yeah, wouldn't doubt it. That game's still just in my brain because there's so many other things at the forefront. It's always felt really far off. So I mean, yeah, my brain wasn't even in the state of where I thought it could even be this year. So I think
Yeah.
I think
Not-
a delay is imminent. Honestly, I
not
think it's coming.
surprising.
Yeah.
Keep it away from Elden Ring.
Yeah, that too. Keep it away from Elden
away.
Ring, please.
Focus Home Interactive has acquired Dotemu or Dotemu? I don't remember.
.emu.
I don't remember the right way to say this. But yeah, so that's an
goats.
interesting one.
Yep.
Studio acquisitions always make me nervous.
Yeah.
Especially when you're coming off the greatest beat 'em up of all time, Streets of Rage 4. You know, you start shaking up the structure there. It's concerning. But as we were saying on stream, like every time I'm playing a game and like Focus pops up, I'm always like, oh, cool. Like I like them as a publisher developer. I like that place. So hopefully,
I feel like it's a very different direction for them too. Cause they feel like they've done like more like 3D talky kind of games,
realistic, gritty, more stuff. Totally.
Like murder mystery kind of stuff.
Vampire, you said right, was one,
Yeah.
and Plague Tale, and
Expand that portfolio,
yeah,
dude.
yeah. So I'm just hoping, keep doing what you're doing, Toddy, but with more resources.
Saber Interactive, via the Embracer Group, who owns them now, has acquired Slipgate Ironworks and 3D Realms. Also, Embracer picked up like 8 studios.
Wow.
Like last night, pretty
pick 'em
much.
Pick them up.
So, but Gearbox owns the Duke Nukem rights,
The
but
Yeah.
the
Yes.
IP.
Yes.
So 3D Realms just has nothing to do with
3D Realms has been like publishing like,
Yeah.
a lot of other people games, and they
Mhm.
had Bombshell a couple years
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
and they're in a weird place. It's a strange thing
Mhm.
for them to get picked up. But I think even with this, like everyone's using Duke Nukem pictures, and it's like, well, I don't know you're gonna get any Duke Nukem with this
No,
deal,
yeah,
but
no, I
okay.
don't think so.
Yeah. I don't think
Not
so.
unless Randy Pitchford says it's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So who knows there?
Got to beat him in a magic
Wait,
trick.
did Embracer also get Gearbox? Doesn't somebody have Gearbox too?
Own Gearbox?
That was that whole thing.
2K.
Yeah,
right?
no.
But 2K is publishing rights.
2K 's still
to
gonna have
still
publishing,
Borderlands
yeah.
or something.
But I think it might be Embracer that got Gearbox.
Oh, okay.
So maybe
Right.
they are all together.
we talked about this on podcast like months ago.
Yeah.
No.
Correction next week.
Correction
Yeah, I feel like
time.
the only
Just
what
let us
they
know. Was it Coach Media?
I feel like with Duke Nukem they should go the Sonic Mania route.
Gotch. But,
Just
yeah.
throwing that out there.
What do you mean, making one that's like 3D? Duke
Like a
Nukem 3D?
retro, yeah, like a Duke Nukem 3D retro style. Either a cool like remix of old levels with a new twist on it, or you just make a new one in that style.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And the first big update for Mario Golf Super Rush came out today for free. Toadette and New Donk City.
Donk
Yep.
City.
And
Some other
ranked.
stuff. Oh, ranked play too, yeah.
baby.
That's where Jones is right now.
Take him to the green.
Now we know what's up.
He is.
There
Take
we
him
go.
to the green, baby.
Rising the ranks right now.
Hell yeah.
I forgot something, so I got to go find it.
I want to see the pros.
Me
I want to
too.
see the
Blood's
pros on the
rushing to go
greens.
tell Jones, yo, we found out.
Yeah. Yo, Jones.
All right. It's time for Love and Respect.
Love and respect.
All right. Jeremy Geller asks, howdy, allies. Believe it or not, this holiday season will mark the first time ever that a new Call of Duty, Battlefield, and Halo game are launching in the same quarter. As of the first week of August, this year's Call of Duty is still yet to be announced, but it's a safe bet to launch this November. My question is, with Battlefield being online only and doing some interesting things with Portal, coupled with Halo multiplayer being free to play, is this finally the year that Activision sees Call of Duty losing some of its market share? What would they have to announce to get you more excited
For Call of Duty?
for Call of Duty?
I'm always the same with Call of Duty, so honestly, nothing. Truly, I'm always the same. I'm always just in, unless I'm not, which is rare. I love Call of Duty. It's an annual thing, so I'm usually a weird one to ask because I play both. I play Battlefield and Call of Duty.
Right.
But that being said, I think the momentum right now is 100% in Battlefield's corner. I think this Battlefield Portal is a huge reason for that. So much potential. If this can cash in on the promises and give people so many ways to play and capitalize on streaming and just having like fun, wacky things, just embracing that Battlefield style, I think this could be the year where Battlefield takes it. Because Call of Duty has done... They've done the Modern Warfare thing. They've done Battle Royale.
Yeah.
They've just did World War II recently. The future is tired. Like, they've really hit it all. They're always hitting it all. It's always there's always the argument that it's tired, but yeah, they've pivoted to like every kind of trend there is recently. No campaign, big campaign, battle royale, zombies. So I don't.
Roguelites though, we haven't had a roguelite.
You're onto something there, Blood. Honestly, and those are the meta right now. Those are the
Yeah.
zeitgeist. I think you're onto something there. Honestly, that could be a fun thing in a Call of Duty game for sure.
Yeah, I can't think of anything.
Yeah,
Because
Roguelite's
it's just
cool.
every
Roguelite's
year,
cool.
so it's not as exciting to me.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm not the best person to ask that either.
Right.
The market share thing, I think, obviously, just because Halo and Battlefield will be in the same quarter, they'll be taking up some more. But the thing is, I think it's a different time. I mean, people will play all three. People will play two. Like it's playing more of one other. The only thing you'll see maybe is a decrease in hours
play
played.
both.
But in terms of share, I feel like Call of Duty is just gonna hold steady.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It'll be just
yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
fine.
They probably will.
Call of Duty doesn't even have to come out this year, and they'll do just fine.
Yeah.
I mean,
They'll
like
win.
Warzone, we'll just keep
Yeah,
going.
Warzone just keeps on trucking.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the funny thing, talking about Halo being free to play, that just means that more money to spend on Call of Duty. You don't got to spend it on Halo. There it is.
This year, I have such high hopes for Battlefield this year. I've never been this excited, honestly. Not since maybe Battlefield 3. But I think this has the potential to be the best Battlefield. I mean, everything we've seen so far. Haven't played it. Haven't got my hands on it. It could not turn out this way. But from what I've seen and heard, this is gonna be a return to form
It
for
has
this series.
more momentum than 5 certainly did.
Absolutely, Brad. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that Halo has gotten a lot of buzz. People
Yeah.
were really
Thing.
excited about that technical
It
preview.
seemed like
Yeah.
every single person was positive on it.
Yeah.
Every article I read was like, "Yo, Halo's good." Every tweet I saw was like, "Yo, this is good."
Kept crashing for us when we tried to play it.
Technical problems aside,
yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Was that on Xbox or was it only PC?
Oh, the one we had was PC.
Oh, did they have
I
like
don't
separate
know.
codes or something
Just
kind of
we
thing?
had a PC code. I
Huh.
don't know how it was handled.
Weird. Harrison Holt McHale asks, Sony had an earnings call this week. In it, they stated that the PC releases of Horizon and Days Gone had been successful and noted that their new porting studio, Nixes, would help them scale in a horizontal manner. So, what PlayStation exclusive would you love to see on PC next?
Nah.
What do you realistically
say it
think
like
it's going
we
to be?
always do.
Yeah.
Take us away.
Bloodborne.
Yeah, there you
Yes.
go. That's number one.
We want the Bloodborne director's cut.
Mm-hmm.
We want it. Give us one extra boss.
I could see Ghost of Tsushima being one they do.
Yeah,
I feel like
really
that's
think
a
that's
big one
that's
for
a
them.
good one.
'Cause it just seems to have such mass appeal. God of War maybe down the line. God of War 1. I don't think you'd see whatever the sequel is going to be on it for
That's
a while.
the question I have is like
I don't think you're going to do
Days
day and
Gone and
dates.
Horizon. Yes, they're big selling things, but they're not God of War and Uncharted big. They're not Last of Us big.
Right.
So that's to me that's another step of commitment in that direction. If they take one of those games,
Last of Us
Yeah.
1 remastered
Right.
on PC. Do you think we'll ever get to a point where it is day and date? Do you think that'll
Yeah,
ever
that's possible.
Because I think it sounds wild, but I can just see the headline now of like God of War Ragnarok launching simultaneously on PS4, 5, and PC. Or I can see that so clearly. I'm not saying God of War Ragnarok will be the one, but
I think that time will arrive if Sony's has a comparable service to Game Pass that is just as big and successful.
got it.
That's probably the window, I would guess. But otherwise, how their strategy is, I feel like
Yeah. They're doing
that's not.
just
I don't think it will
fine. Yeah.
happen in its
No,
current,
yeah.
under its current
Yeah.
strategy.
I think that everything's going to be a year delay or 6 months for a while. Because they want you to buy a PlayStation 5. They
Yeah.
want you to play on their new system.
Totally.
but Demon Souls is another one that
Yeah, Demon Souls
Potentially
possibly could, which
come
would
over.
be sick. Yeah.
I'm all for like the stuff that is. We'll probably never see another one again. Like go ahead and put a Gravity Rush 2.
Yeah.
Master.
Yeah,
Put those on PC. You never know. I mean, there might have just been people who never bought a PlayStation who were really into those. Just never know. What you got?
Guns of the Patriots. Guns of the Patriots.
Well,
put it
that's,
on
that-
PC.
that's Konami.
Please put it on PC. I know.
That's Konami, but
Get it off of PS3. Put it on PC.
Honestly, though, that's something I would be more excited about than something more recent would be to see the
PS3
PS3
games?
games
The PS3
that haven't come over yet. Like
There
the
are
Infamous series. You
Too
know?
many to count. There's too many to count. Resistance, Killzone, Infamous, like you just said, Metal Gear Solid 4. I mean, the list goes on.
The Sly games.
Yeah, the trilogy and 4.
They've got such a wealth of stuff
Ratchet and Clank,
that
Crack in
could
Time,
come over
Tools of Destruction.
that
Yeah.
wouldn't even dent their current output.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the back catalog that is quote unquote held hostage on PS3 is substantial. I mean, that's just reminds me of kind of Nintendo. I mean, Nintendo has way more back catalog that they can do so much with. But like PlayStation specifically, I feel like PS3 has just a big pocket. Like, what do you think they're waiting for a time to get those games up to current consoles, or do you think they're just because I know PS3, the whole infrastructure and
Their
how they made
strategy
'em
right
was
now
weird.
seems to be for PS Now,
Yeah.
delivering a lot of those PS3 games.
Yeah,
So I don't know. That gives you an incentive to get PS Now, I guess.
yeah.
They want to keep pushing that for a while, but who knows?
But I think they could use a better, newer incentive than
Oh yeah,
that.
oh yeah. Of course they should.
Yeah.
Like those games should have been out a long time ago.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, because we were lucky to get the Uncharted collection
Mhm.
because those were PS3 games.
That
but
was
that
Blue Point,
the
yeah.
PS4 collection is
Yeah, it's like,
so
why can't I get
wonderful.
those? Yeah.
And The Last of Us remastered as well. Like obviously, it just
Good. Let's go. Killzone collection, Resistance collection.
yeah.
Yeah, I think anything particularly like that where you have series that are either not playable on PS4, PS5, or that are split up. Like, those are really good ways to get into that, and maybe by doing that, then that's a lot of the work done that somebody else could then bring that to PS5 as well, and you kind of get the best of both worlds.
Yeah.
That could be your day and date.
Yeah.
That kind of
that's
thing.
true.
It's like, all right, here you go. Here's your whole Killzone collection, the
Yep.
whole series,
Guns of the Patriots.
PC and PlayStation
Come on,
5,
Konami.
same day.
Help us out, Konami. Just help us out.
From Platinum Declan, I'm late to the party, but can you recommend 3 Assassin's Creed games to get me into the franchise?
Easily. So easily.
I've waited for Huber to be a panelist for this one, as I know he's a huge fan. But of course, this is open to everyone. Maybe recommend one from each era of the franchise. Help me
got
get
ya.
a good feel for it
got ya.
overall. My backlog is already massive, so playing them all is out.
Yeah.
Especially all of the 3 recent ones. Yeah, you're not kidding.
I got you. Okay, obviously, Assassin's Creed 2.
Mm-hmm.
Open with that, honestly. If you're not going to play them all, I would say, of course, because this is an ongoing story with, 20 games or whatever, there's connections. So I would say start with 1, but if you don't plan on playing them all, start with 2. Great place to start. My favorite. Then I'd go to Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag.
Yep.
I think Black Flag, another wonderful game. So good. One of the best of the franchise as well. And then next, kind of up to you. I really like Assassin's Creed Syndicate. That is one of my favorites.
Ooh,
I
yeah?
love it. It is a newer one. But if you kind of want to hit
Not anymore. It's
not anymore. But if you want 3 and you kind of want to hit all the eras, I would do 2, Black Flag, and Odyssey
Yeah.
specifically.
Yeah, I was thinking Odyssey out of the newer ones might be the one to go with. The other one that I was thinking of, which I still see people, maybe it's just from a technical level,
Unity,
people keep going back to Unity
Yeah.
like now that it's like been cleaned up.
Sure.
beautiful game, gorgeous, and not that long,
Right.
and has some weird co-op stuff as
Yeah,
well
if you're
that
playing
you
the
can fool
newer
around with.
Assassin's Creeds, dude,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's gonna take a while.
Yeah, Odyssey is a
Yeah, I feel like if you
beast.
pick Origins, Odyssey, or Valhalla, like
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
it.
those
you
newer
pick
ones.
one game,
Yeah.
not 3.
But if you want the older ones, all of a sudden you play 2 and you're obsessed. Like, play Ezio's entire trilogy. That was remastered. Like, 2 Brotherhood Revelations. He has his own trilogy, and if you want those old school Assassin's Creed games, like that trilogy is it's amazing. I love them all. It's so cool, and you get to feel what the franchise was. Just so different.
Revelations has a lot of story stuff, but I do feel like art style, like there was clearly like another group of people working on the game. Like everybody just looked weird all of a sudden.
Yeah, a little more like chunky, like big bold colors and like just chunkier buildings and characters. 2 just kind of has this like old Renaissance painting style vibe, like sharp lines. Love it.
All right, it's time for bets. Next week's bet: Godfall, the first game ever to be shown on the PlayStation 5, is coming to the PlayStation 4 on August 10th. How big will the file size be? For comparison, the PS5 file size is 22.32 gigabytes, I'm assuming. Brandon didn't write down anything past the 22.32.
Yeah.
Bradley Ellis.
27
Ooh.
gigabytes.
Huber.
36.4 gigabytes.
Oh, wow. Oh, significantly higher. That's like like almost double. Damiani.
30 gigabytes.
Okay. Wow. So I'm at the low with 26.1
What was it?
gigabytes.
The PS5 one?
The PS5 is 22.32.
22. Yeah, I probably should have said like 32. Shit.
Which is interesting because you might assume that it would be lower on the PlayStation 4, but we've been seeing that's not the case.
Yeah.
Because of the SSD, they don't have to like duplicate data in different parts of the disk and that kind of thing. So we'll see how it goes.
We shall see.
Last week we bet. What we bet on is that this is what last week's bet was. Lemniscate launches next Tuesday. It did not.
Wrong.
Got pushed September 28th. When we record our podcast this week, how many minutes will have elapsed between the most recent and second most recent tweets from the Lemniscate game Twitter account? One day is 1,440 minutes. Brad bet 120.
2 hours.
Ben bet 50 minutes. Jones bet 999 minutes. And I bet 121 minutes. So right before this podcast, I looked at the latest tweets. The most recent tweet was August 5th at 7:57 a.m. The one before that was August 4th at 9:02 a.m. So that's a difference of 21 hours and 55 minutes. Otherwise, 1,315 minutes.
Jones.
So that makes Jones the winner.
It's rigged.
Rigged.
Bullshit.
That brings our scores to Jovial Penguins,
No quote this week.
19. And Vociferous Beavers, 14. Nom, 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 nom. All right, let me tell you about patreon.com/easyallies. Gonna try to get you away from the script and the flow and the tuning out. But Patreon is the way that everything that we do happens. We are supported by our viewers, by our fans. If you appreciate this podcast, if you appreciate the Back for Blood preview, if you appreciate reviews, if you appreciate anything that we do, please consider becoming a patron. We definitely need your support to keep all of this going, all of this rolling. $1 support will get you exclusive shows and Cup of Jones every week, as well as some other fun interactions and polls and stuff. And then for $5 a month, you get early access to this podcast as well as some other podcasts. And at any tier, you also get this podcast ad-free. So if you're $5, you'll get it on Friday. But if you're $1, you'll get it on Sunday, but you'll get it without the ads. And then there's also a patron RSS feed. So you can get like all of that audio, all that early access stuff, everything that you have access to As a patron at your tier, you will get in that private audio link. And then the highest tier, our $250 tier, is the shout-out tier. And this month's shout-outs, we have Elthanis, Greg, the Dark Knight Kettering, Caleb Togi Crawford, Estocal, and Nick. Shout out.
Shout out.
Look at that trust from Blood. Jones over-explains it every time. Blood knew. Looked right over at us. He knew. It was trust.
Well, I think when we first came back, it took a second. It's like, make sure everyone's on the same page. And
I
we're
didn't
getting
even
through
know
the whole
about it.
rotation. Yeah. And so Jones is in here, so I'm the only one on our team. So I guess I get Jones's win.
Yeah.
I get to promote any Easy Allies video I would like to promote. I get the final word on anything I've disagreed with, want to reiterate, or just popped into my head. And I get to sign off with my trademark sign off. So I already promoted it once, but I'll promote the Back for Blood impressions. I think it's an early access beta this weekend, and then the open beta next weekend. But you guys got to play it a little bit early.
We did, yeah.
Got to put a couple hours in,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
and sounds good so far.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
a good time.
Oh, yeah. Be excited.
And then final word. What all we get into? Zool, Asobi. Yeah, I hope Team Asobi. I look forward to that. I'll just say that. I look forward to whatever they do with Astrobot next, whether they do something along my crazy lines of, making themed worlds of other PlayStation franchises, or whether they just really go further out and really establish Astrobot as its own pillar. I think that the last two games have really proved that they've got it in them, and I think it's a dimension of the PlayStation brand that they can really use. And we'll see you before the next Blood Moon Rises.
Yeah, that one needs a Switch Pro. that game needed a Switch Pro though.
I didn't even think about how Activision is connected to all this. They are kind of,